friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video I am going to be putting together my next two spreads using the Cozy Story Kit from Ali Edwards for Story Kit Crush this month. So the first spread that I have here is all about, it's just some journaling, some personal journaling that I have done to go inside of my pocket page notebook. A pocket page notebook is essentially a traveler's notebook that has pockets that go in between each of the spreads. So this page is going to go right here with a pocket in the middle. And the whole thing was inspired by a card that says, the older I get, the more I realize I don't want to be around drama, conflict, or stress. I want a cozy home with good food and to be surrounded by happy people. So that was the jumping off point for my journaling for this month. And then my second project is all about the things that feel cozy to me. So I took a flat lay photo of a bunch of things that to me are very cozy. I have a picture of my feet up in some of my fuzzy slippers, and then I'm going to be building a page to document those things in my 6x8 album. So what I'm going to do is put you on fast forward while I get both of these assembled. Then we will slow back down, talk a little bit more about the stories themselves, and then we will close out for today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, you guys, so for this week, I decided to start with this spread all about what does cozy mean to me. Now, one of the things I wanted to do was build a page where I could add my own journaling onto it and kind of make a whole outside of the page protector 6x8 essentially journaling page. So the first thing I wanted to do is create a title, and one of my favorite things to do when I am working on a project like this is to grab out my stamp set and to create my own papers or pattern papers with those stamp sets by using a repeat pattern or alternating ink colors, which is what I'm going to do here. And then I can cut a portion of this in order to add that to part of the journaling. So it's going to create this basically title border up at the top of my page. So for this one, I chose the sentiment that says, "This is what cozy means to me," because that is really what this entire page is all about. So I stamped out a portion that was larger than what I would actually need because I wanted to be able to have that stamping go all the way to the edges. So to not have it necessarily be perfect and right within the lines, I wanted it to interact with all four edges. So I went ahead and stamped that large portion, and then I cut it into a 6" by 2" strip. So that's going to go up at the top. The reason I chose to make it 2 inches is because I actually want to add this felt hat in the middle there, and then to put that cozy plastic word right on top. I think that looks really awesome. It helps me to use up some of my supplies, and then it also gives this like a really textural, cozy feeling, because to me, and I believe I actually journal about this in this spread, is that different textures feel cozy to me. Like I really like things that are really like fibrous, I suppose. I don't even know if that's a word, but like felt and knit and all those things. Like it just feels so good. So once I had that sort of set up, the next thing I did was to go ahead and add my chipboard onto that floral pattern card. And then I am also going to add the photo of my feet in the slippers onto the 4x6 card. So I just used a corner rounder. I did that because there is a slight, like very thin line border all the way around the like where you would put the photo or where you would put your journaling, and those have rounded corners. So to help match that, that is why I grabbed my corner rounder punch, which is ancient. It's maybe not ancient, but it's super old. It's from when I was a kid, and my mom and I did Creative Memories. So I've had that thing forever. I also will add a few of these cardstock heart stickers to it just to spruce it up a little bit, add a little bit more interest to the page in general. And then the right side is done. For the left side, I am going to use my tiny attacher to staple through the word cozy and through the hat onto that stamped strip. Then once I have that done, I will add some adhesive to the back of it and then put that up at the top of the page. Another thing that I did while I was talking earlier is I grabbed over the 3x4 card that had a whole bunch of icons on it. And what I discovered is that I could actually punch out 4 of them. I maybe could have gotten 5, but 4 for sure, with my 1-inch circle punch, where the little image would be in the circle. So I thought, why not just take that and punch those into the 1-inch circles, pick 4 of them that I really like, and then those can become my bullet points for what I will write about. So I made sure to choose ones that related to stories I could tell. So like I've got the ball of yarn where I can talk about texture. I've got the cat where I can talk about my cats being really cozy. I've got the hat there, which to me represents being warm and bundling up, and that's something I really like to do. And then I've got the armchair, which represents to me like having a reading spot and getting a book and having coffee and like somewhere really comfortable that you can sit, and that to me is also cozy. So I will add those 4 circles on there. I just stuck them on there with some ruler adhesive. I'm going to clear off my space here and bring over my sewing machine, because what I want to do is I want to create a grid where I can actually add my journaling onto the page. Now, this is something I've done before. I actually got the idea from an older, I believe it was an older December Daily page from Ali Edwards, and it could have also been a product play thing. I'm not totally sure. I just saw it once and was like, that's brilliant. All I did was sew around the perimeter of the journaling space. I did a line from the top to the bottom next to those 4 punched out circles, and then 1 in between. Now, sometimes I will actually take that aside and draw out my lines so that they are more precise. This time I decided not to. And that's just to tell you and to prove to you that you do not have to be perfect at sewing. Even if your lines are wonky and crooked and all of those things, it does not matter, because it still looks really cool. Like, I still love this page, even though my lines are not perfect. They don't have to be. So, take that as you will. So now I've set the first project to the side. That one is done, and we're going to start working on this second project. This one is going into a pocket page notebook. So it's one of the traveler's notebooks that has a pocket, a clear plastic pocket in the middle of each regular paper spread, if that makes sense. So I love to use that plastic part to give me a little bit of interactivity, or to give me an opportunity to embellish this without taking up a whole bunch of real estate on my actual spread itself, which is what I'm going to do here. So I have a full page photo that I printed out of myself. It was just one of my Thursday 3 photos. It's actually one of my favorites from January. So I think I used it in like 4 projects, which, who says that you can't reuse the same photo? I definitely don't say that. You can reuse the same photo if you like it. Who cares? And so I have the full page photo. And then I did journaling for the right-hand side. I did make sure to leave a little section where I could add these 2 chipboard pieces. One says say no and one says say yes. And really, I'm just journaling here about some things that have been happening over the course of the last few months. And that's really one of my favorite things about working in a journal like this, or having a journal like this, is just to make an opportunity every month to sit down, or this is what I do anyways, to sit down and word vomit onto a piece of paper where you can get thoughts out, you can get emotions out, you can talk about things that have made you so happy or so proud of yourself, or things that have been really hard and things that you're working through, which is a little bit of both of my journaling today. So we've got the say no and talking about, the negativity and the things that aren't going so well, and trying to find a way to say no to those things. And then on the opposite side, we have things that we're saying yes to, things that that I want to focus on, because those are the things that have brought me joy. So I did go ahead and add that here into my notebook, and then I'm taking this piece. Now, this is a section that I cut out of a journaling card, so I'm turning a journaling card into an embellishment, which is something I always recommend when you have a whole bunch of journaling cards to use up. Then I took a second journaling card, added that to the back of it, and trimmed that out. So we have this floral pattern and then a chipboard on top of that. I didn't realize that I put my chipboard on there crooked until later. Honestly, it's whatever. It's okay with me. And then I'm just going to put it into the middle of that pocket and staple it on with my tiny attacher. All right, you guys, that completes both of my spreads for today. So for this first one, we have all of the things that cozy means to me, which I said things like textures and warmth and cuddling with the cats and bundling up, whether that's inside or outside, sitting down in the cozy spots of our home with a good book and a cup of coffee. That to me is the definition of cozy in our home. So this was a really fun one, and even the pictures just make it feel cozy. I love this. So that is this one. And then the other one that I did was my longer journaling story. So this is in the Pocket Page notebook. Now I did decide not to put sequins in here because I had thought about that originally, maybe throwing some sequins in, fusing it up at the top and making this a shaker pocket. But this is already really bulky and I just put a bunch of chipboard in here. So I figured that I didn't need to bulk it up even more than it already is. So those are my projects for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing both of these stories come together. I hope that you have been enjoying this series so far and seeing all of the cozy stories, because this has been a really fun theme, just warm and comforting, and I really, really enjoy going through this kit with you guys. If you did enjoy the process, I would love a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see all of the content I have coming your way in the future. I will be back on Monday with another story project, on Wednesday with a Project Life spread, and then next Friday with my final projects for the Cozy Kit. And then I will let you guys know what kit we are crushing in the month of March. So lots of exciting things on the horizon. Until then, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, a wonderful weekend, and I will catch all of you in the next video. Bye now.